from the many mu'jizat of Aqa alayhi salam, Imam Jalaluddin Suyuti and also Imam Qustulani, the two books I've got in front of me now, they both mention one beautiful thing, that one of the greatest mu'jizat of Aqa was his beauty supreme. I mean, the way Aqa Islam was created, his khalq was also a great mu'jizah of Almighty Allah. When whoever would see the blessed face of Aqa Salam, they would be compelled to believe that he is the most truthful individual. Even the opponent, even the mukhalifeen, even the mushrikeen who were enemies of Aqa Salam, even they, when they would look at the face of Aqa Salam, they would say that Ma huwa al-wajhu al-kadhab. This face cannot be the face of a liar. And there are many narrations now, but the beauty of Aqa Salam, the way it has been described in many hadiths of Barakah. One thing I'll mention from Khasais al-Kubra of the Suyuti, he mentions from Hazrat Jabir ibn Abdullah, he says that Jani Jibreel, one day Jibreel came to me and he told me that Allah Ta'ala is sending salam upon you, O beloved. And he's telling you, my Habib, O Habibi, my beloved, Inni kasawtu husna Yusufa, Inni kasawtu husna Yusuf min nuri kursi. That I made the husn of Yusuf, I made him wear the husn, or granted him the husn from the kursi. And your husn of your face, your wajh, I made that from the nur of Arsh. And Jabir says, Hazrat Jabir Abdullah says, to tell you in the tune or in the language of poetry as well, Jabir says that I one night went out, and the night was the night of full moon. And I looked at the moon, and Al-Aqsa was sitting, and he was alayhi hullatun humra. He had a red shawl on that. It's one of the sunnah of Aqsa had to have a shawl on it. So some of you might have questioned why Imam was having a shawl, and maybe it might look like a shawl of ladies. No, it's a proper gent shawl. So anyway, he had a shawl on him. That was a red shawl on him. Okay? So. And so he said that I looked at the beauty of Aqsa. And in many hadiths has been mentioned that actually Imam Qustulani mentions that Allah Ta'ala, we have to believe in that one of the mu'jizah of Aqsa was such that he was the most beautiful creation of Almighty Allah. We have to have an iman. I mean, for our strength of iman, we have to believe in that he was the best creation of Almighty Allah. Subhanallah, and Hadith Pak says, Sayyidah Aisha Siddiqa says, that when Aqsa would enter the room and room would be dark, but because of the brightness of the face of Aqsa, that would be enlightened, subhanallah. That was the beauty of Aqsa. So in the dark night, Hazrat Jabir sees Aqsa, and he is having red shawl on Hullat al-Humra, and there's moon on the full moon, night of full moon as well. So Jabir happened to compare the moon and the face of Aqsa. He says, I would look towards the face of Aqsa once and then look towards the moon. And I thought of comparing the two. But I then failed and I said, Wallahi, the face of beloved is most beautiful. Allah Hazrat says, Tere qadmon mein jo hai, ghair ka wo kya dekhe. And who are those who are sitting in your feet, Ya Rasulullah? Why would they look towards something else? Because you are the most beautiful creation of Almighty Allah. कौन नजरों पे चढ़े देख के तलवा तेरा या रसूल के तेरे कदमों में जो है गैर कहूं क्या देखे कौन नजरों पे चढ़े देख के तलवा तेरा कौन नजरों पे चढ़े देख के तलवा तेरा वाक़िया जो दो करम है शहबत तेरा. And from the beauty of Aqsa, from those narrations which mention the beauty of Aqsa, there is a narration of Ma'bad. You've heard that most famously. It's a long narration, but short, to make it short. One night, when Aqsa finally was traveling to the Hijrah, सरकार हिजरत पर तशरीफ ले जा रही हैं और रास्ते में उन्हें माबद ये उसकी मैं कि खेमे से गुजरूँ आपका उसके घर से, तो सरकार को भूख लगी है बड़ी सख्त, आपके साथ हज़रत बकर सिद्दीक़ है, उनका गुलाम भी है, और Sarkar ne goya ke Ma'bad ki khayme mein, he went to the house of Ma'bad, and the husband of Ma'bad was already out. And husband was out with the herd, with the goats and sheep, and that was the time of famine. And they had nothing to eat, and the goats were actually, the goats were very weak actually. And there was one goat left that was extremely weak, couldn't even walk. Sarkar went to the house of them and asked for something to eat. And Ma'bad, when she looked at the face of Aqal, she was awestruck. And she couldn't even speak after that. And she forgot to ask even the name of Aqal. And Sarkar asked for something, if they have something to eat. Yes, she said, yeah, Abi, he said, oh Mubarak, we don't have anything in the house. And you can see there's only one goat. The husband has taken my goats out. And the only one goat is there, and that even can't walk, and there's no milk in the huddles of this goat. And there's nothing that you can take from this goat. So Sarkar said, can you bring that closer? So Sarkar simply placed the hand Mubarak on that, and it was filled with milk, subhanAllah. And Sarkar ke haath lagne ki der thi ki uski goya ke thano mein milk bana, subhanAllah. And Sarkar Sallam, they took the milk from the goat, and all the pots in the house were filled with the milk. Subhanallah. Even then that goat remained healthy after that till the hijrah. When they did hijrah, just to mention that by the way, that when they did hijrah, Ma'bad took that goat with her to Medina, and they continued to take the milk from that goat. Subhanallah. That was the blessing of the hand of Aqal, one of the miracles. So they took the milk from that, and they drank, and they gave to Ma'bad as well. And then they left. But then the husband comes later. Husband comes and he sees so much barakat in the house, and so much fragrance in the house. Sarkar, when they would pass them away, the fragrance would remain there for many days, subhanAllah. That was the beauty of Aqal Islam, the specialities of Aqal. So he says that why is there so much barakat in that? When I left, this house was different. And now there is a different vibe and different environment here. So what happened? So she said, La wallahi. One thing happened. Innahu marra bina rajulun. A man came to us. He was zahir al-wada'ati. He had a beauty, very obvious beauty, subhanAllah. And ablaj al-wajh, that he was of beautiful glowing countenance, and he has very beautiful appearance. And she mentioned so many things. I will just mention a few of them. She says that akhal, that his eyebrows were thin, and he had the kuhl applied to the eyes, subhanAllah. And aqran as well, so much that the eyebrows were meeting each other. And he was shadidu sawad al-sha'r, and he had extremely dark hair, subhanAllah. وَإِذَا تَكَلَّمَ عَلَهُ الْبَهَاءُ, when he would speak, the beauty would increase, subhanAllah. And the nur would emit from the mouth, subhanAllah. And وَأَجْبَنُ النَّاسِ وَبْهَاءٌ بَعِيدٌ, when he was coming from far, he was looking most beautiful, subhanAllah. When he came closer, he was even more beautiful, subhanAllah. सरकार दो से तो खूबसूरत थे ही, लेकिन सरकार जब पास आए हैं तो उससे भी ज़्यादा कहीं हसीन, सुभान क्या बात है. तो आपने गोया कि हुस्न का बड़ा अजीम मंजर, she mentioned this in the hadith sharif, and she says that he was most beautiful when he was at a distance, but when he came closer he was even more beautiful, subhanAllah. And when he asked him about the name, do you remember the name? She said no, his name was Mubarak. And I was so awestruck by the beauty that I couldn't even remember the name, subhanAllah. So this was the beauty of Aqal Islam. That's why, and that was the case because Aqal Islam was created from the nur of Almighty Allah. Allah Ta'ala, when He wanted to create, when Allah, Hadith Qudsi says, as Jabir Abdullah says, that Allah Ta'ala, when He was only Himself and nothing else was there, Hadith Qudsi He mentions, that it was only Almighty Allah. He says, كنت كنزا مخفيا, I was a hidden treasure. فأحببت أن نعرف, and I wanted to be known. I loved to be known so that people would recognize my sifat and my beauty and all of my great sifat. فخلقت الخلق, so I created the makhluk. Jabir says, I asked Rasulullah, what was the first creation of Almighty Allah? he was told that, Ya Jabiru, O Jabir, Allah created, very first creation was the nur of your Nabi from his own nur. And from his own nur, Allah Ta'ala created the nur of your Nabi. And the hadith about, they say the Ghusi Azam says how he created that the nur from his own nur. He says that Allah Ta'ala wanted, obviously this makhluk, he created for his own marifat. As he mentioned in this book, that I created this makhluk so that I could be known. The very first creation that he creates for his own marifat had to be the perfect, you can say, embodiment of the sifat of Almighty Allah. The perfect display or mazhar of the sifat of Almighty Allah. So he created, Sayyid Ghusi Azam says, that he gathered all of his sifat, the nur of all of the sifat of Almighty Allah, and he reflected them in the ayna of Zat Muhammadi subhanallah. In the mirror of the Zat Muhammadi, the existence of Al-Qadriyyah, when that was all of the sifat of Almighty Allah reflected in that mirror, then the takhliq of Al-Qadriyyah came about subhanallah. When that he created a makhluk so that would be display of every single sifat of Almighty Allah. How beautiful would that creation be subhanallah. So that when he created that, then he also started loving that creation subhanallah, because he was created out of love. That he was created out of love. The foundation of the creation was the love to be known subhanallah. So that love led to the creation of Al-Qadriyyah. And then Al-Qadriyyah one day asked Jibreel, "Oh Jibreel, you have how old are you, Jibreel?" He said, "Ya Rasulullah, I don't know the age exactly, but I know one thing, that there's a star that shines in the hijab-e-uluhiyyah. There's so many hijabat of uluhiyyah even beyond this universe. Thousands of hijabat. And one of the hijab is hijab-e-uluhiyyah. There's a star that shines in the hijab once every 70,000 years. Meaning every 70,000 years it shines only once. And I have seen that star 70,000 times. And that's how old I am. So multiply the two number, you get roughly about 4.9 billion years. 4.9 billion years was the age of Jibreel at the time of this conversation. He said that I'm that old, Ya Rasulullah, roughly. So he said, he must have seen all the creations of Almighty Allah. You saw every single creation of Almighty Allah. But tell me, have you seen someone more beautiful than me? ये बताओ कि हमसा भी कोई देखा है? Have you seen someone like me as well? So yes, wallahi, I've seen awwalin wa akhirin, but I haven't seen anyone more beautiful than you. Subhanallah. नहीं कोई आपसे नहीं देखा. But then उसका मेरा दुआ, Allahumma Aba Hasan bin Sabit मेरा दुआ, Allahumma ayyidu bi ruhil qudus. So Allah help him with the Jibreel Amin. Jibreel Amin help him, and he was able to write that couplet and stanza in which he says that وَأَحْسَنُ مِنْكَ لَمْ تَرَ قَطُّ عَيْنِي. More beautiful than you, Ya Rasulullah, my eyes haven't seen. And وَأَجْمَلُ مِنْكَ لَمْ تَلِدِ النِّسَاءُ. And how can they see when more beautiful than you hasn't not been given birth by the mothers? Any mothers haven't given birth to such an individual, subhanAllah. And خُلِقْتَ مُبَرَّأً مِنْ كُلِّ عَيْبٍ. And you have been created free from every defect. كَأَنَّكَ قَدْ خُلِقْتَ كَمَا تَشَاءُ. As if you have been created as you wanted to be created, subhanAllah. And when it came to Hasan al-Hindu, subhanAllah, he says, कि वही रब है जिसने तुझको हमतन करम बनाया और हमें भीख मांगने को तेरा आस्ता बताया तुझे हमद है खुदाया. And that says, यही बोले सिदरा वाले कि चमने जहां के थाले. Sidra wale and the Jibreel Amin, they stay on the Sidra Muntaha. He said that only Sidra wale, Jibreel Amin, he said that as well. That chamane jahan ke thale, that all the trays of the chaman of the jahan of this world, I've explored all of them. यही बोले सिदरा वाले कि चमने जहां के थाले सभी मैंने छान डाले तेरे पाए का न पाया तुझे यक ने यक बनाया तुझे यक ने यक बनाया तुझे यक ने यक बनाया. दिल तो करता है कि रात इधर ही हम बातें करते सरकार time, we have to be mindful of the time. One thing I will mention, this one more story inshallah, just to increase the love of Aqal Islam. There was a wafd of Tariq bin Abdullah. Tariq bin Abdullah was the leader of his nation, and his wafd that came to Aqal Islam, his convoy that came to Aqal Islam, that was named as the wafd Tariq bin Abdullah. So they came, and he says that when Aqal Islam came to Medina Sharif and did the Hijrat, he came to Medina. At that time, we went to Medina just to buy some more dates. So we lived on the outskirts of Medina, and we went to Medina to seek more dates from there. And when we just outside Medina, we want to change our clothes and get ready to enter the city. At that time, a man came to him. He says, we went to Rabda. From Rabda, that was placed out of Medina, and a Rajul came and said salam to us. Rajul was most beautiful, subhanAllah. And he came and said salam to us. And he asked me, Aina Aqbal al-Qawm, where are you coming from? We told him that we are coming from Rabda. And he asked, where are you going? We told him we are going to Medina so that we can. He said, what is your heart? What do you need? What are you looking for? They said, we are going to buy some dates from Medina. And he saw a camel with us, red camel. And so God has red camel, and he wanted to buy that camel from us. So हमसे पूछा कि कितने का बेचोगे? And we were awestruck by the beauty of this individual. यानी हमें तो भूल ही गया कि इसकी कीमत भी करनी है. यानी we forgot about the trade. यानी we were selling our camel, and we forgot about telling him the price and everything, and finalizing the deal. We gave him the camel, and we said that give us this much date. And he took the camel and he went away. He said, I will send the dates. So only when he left, then we realized that we did not secure we didn't take anything in security. The person has left. And we were awestruck by the beauty of this individual. Sarkar Salam ki zaat thi, aap mawjood the. So we look at the beauty of Aqal Salam, and we couldn't even ask about anything for security purposes. So, but then they started blaming each other. But every single one of them would say that I looked at the beauties of Allah, look at the blessed eyes Mubarak, and I had nothing to say after that. Look at the blessed hair Mubarak, and I was awestruck. And I looked at it, when he was speaking, even the nur was coming out of the mouth. I had nothing to say. So how would we prove this to our leader now? All of a sudden, all this conversation was listened by the wife of the leader. She was sitting in the tent, and she was listening to all the conversations. And she removes the cloth of the tent and says, don't worry, he will definitely come back. They say, how do you know? How can you give guarantee? You were sitting inside your tent and you don't even know who he was. She said, I lifted when you were having a conversation with him, I lifted the cloth of the veil of my tent. I looked at the face, and wallahi, I can tell that this face is not the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Definitely while they were saying this, a man came a representative came from Aqal Islam, and he brought some dates and gave them the dates, subhanallah. And also told them to eat from that, and also take whatever they wanted for the camel. So this was the beauty of Aqal Islam. Who would look at the face of Aqal Islam, they would have to accept that he's definitely most truthful. I'm saying this for youngsters now. Nowadays you might come across people who promote atheism, who ask you for the proof of existence of God. All you have to tell them is that the biggest proof we have for the existence of Allah is Aqal Salam. We don't need any proof. We don't need to go into any debates. We simply believe in Almighty Allah because our Prophet told us that. And he is the greatest proof of his existence and the greatest proof of his own truthfulness, subhanAllah.